What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another Top 10 Commander video. This time I'm going to be going over my picks for the 10 best cards in 5 colors. Now, as a bit of criteria for this list, it is not just going to be cards that have 5 colors in their actual mana cost. It will be cards that have a color identity of 5. So this includes monocolored cards with activated ability costs that have all 5 colors. So pretty much every card here is going to have a color identity of 5, even if it's not in its casting cost. But before I get into the video, I have to remind you all that most of you who are watching right now are not actually subscribed to the channel. So I would really appreciate it if you took the time to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. We are moving well past 20,000 subscribers. You guys are awesome. Now let's get right into the video. Alright, so the first card I have here is Conflux, an 8 mana sorcery. This is actually a pretty underrated card in 5 colors, which is why it's only number 10 here. I don't think as many people play it, but you get to search for 1 card of each color from your library. So it's well worth the 8 mana if you ask me, considering that a lot of the cards that you can search up, they can be multicolored but just count for one of those colors that you search for. And I think it goes without saying, but in most 5 color decks you tend to play a lot of multicolored cards, making it pretty easy to just get 5 really good cards. And then the next card we have here is number 9, Morophon the Boundless. Now this is an example of a card with a color identity of 5, but as far as the casting cost goes, it's not 5 colors. That being said, most of the cards you're going to see played in Commander are exactly the same way. They're monocolored or colorless like this, and they have an ability that makes it so that they're 5 colors. Now Morofon is basically the changeling commander. Like, that's all you're going to focus on, taking advantage of creature types and taking advantage of tribal synergies. And you could play pretty much any of them in the same deck so long as you're focusing on changeling tribal. You could play things like Najeela, Archmage Ritualist, or you could even play the Dragon. Morofon is just really a fun commander. It's not super competitive, but it's one that is incredibly open to whatever direction you want to take it in. And then the next one, number 8, is the Dragon. As far as dragon commanders go, this is the granddaddy of them all. The Dragon has Eminence, which is one of the most broken things in Commander, having any sort of ability that functions while your commander is in the command zone. This one just makes all your dragons cheaper. And then once the Dragon is actually on the field, then it's go time. Then you pretty much just draw into more cards, you get to play more cards, and you just get your dragons out there quicker. That's what the Dragon was, an acceleration commander just to really make that tribe a bit quicker. And then number 7, we have the First Sliver. Making it so that all of your slivers have Cascade is a pretty ridiculous thing, considering that most slivers are only really intended to help out your other slivers. So while you may not have a lot of explosive turns with them, each one you get is just going to pile onto the other. So you're going to get another very important ability, a very good keyword, or you're going to get some sort of buff for all of them. And it just happens with each sliver you play. So this really just made what was already a pretty powerful tribe even faster, even more intimidating. Pretty much any commander that you can cast over and over again with Food Chain that has a good ability like Cascade is usually fit for EDH. And then number 6, we have Sliver Overlord. Now I could make this entire list slivers, but Sliver Overlord just makes the best all-around tribal commander option for slivers because you get a good tutor here, and if you're able to turn your opponent's creatures into slivers, well, you get to gain control of them pretty easily. Since slivers are pretty much just one piece of the puzzle, you can tutor up each of them individually, give yourself the ones that offer protection first, and then the ones that offer good combat keywords later. Then number 5, we have Najeela the Blade Blossom, another very good tribal option commander. However, Najeela also has a spot on here for her power in competitive EDH. If you're able to constantly untap your creatures and then activate her ability again, you will have infinite combats. So you can just keep attacking and keep dealing that much damage. This was really a difficult one for me because I think between this and slivers you kind of have more of a tribal focused commander option here. So whatever strength it has, it's not necessarily as flexible, but still incredibly powerful and deserving of this list. And then we have number 4, Mizzet Reborn. Another very good commander option, and quite frankly I think many people underestimate the power here with Mizzet, both as a competitive commander and just all around a great commander no matter how you play it. You do want to build your deck around 2-color cards, but if you're playing 5 colors, chances are you're playing some of the best 2-color cards anyway. So it's not like your deck has to be nothing but 2-color cards. If you just have the best ones, if your combo pieces are 2 colors, you're going to get to them pretty easily, because that's the top 10 of your library. So you will get things like Abrupt Decay, you will get things like Limdol's Vault and EDH, because we have a ton of cards like those that are just all around good. And if you're able to blink Niv Mizzet, he's even more powerful, because you'll be able to do that all over again, and very similar to the First Sliver. Any kind of commander option like this, if you can constantly recast it with something like a Food Chain and that combo, you'll pretty much just win. And then number 3, we have Sisay Weatherlight Captain. Now tutoring is very powerful, we already discussed that with Sliver Overlord, but this is a lot more flexible, because you're able to tutor up any kind of legendary permanent, so long as its cost is less than Sisay's power, which isn't hard to get up there. There are plenty of permanents, whether it be lands, enchantments, artifacts, and creatures of course, and planeswalkers that are legendary. So you can fill your deck with nothing but just cards that will make it easier for you to keep your Sisay out there, make her power greater so you can keep tutoring up more things. It's just something that's incredibly powerful in the format, and having this on a creature's activated ability makes playing Singleton less of a drag. You will have a more consistent deck, your strategy will be a lot easier to fulfill compared to many other decks that don't have this kind of strength in a commander. And then number 2, we have Kenrith the Returned King. All around great mana sink commander. You have all those different abilities that you can synergize with. And I've already talked about Kenrith in length in several videos, but you can synergize with each of those abilities individually. You could play competitive EDH if you want to for that reason. And with Kenrith, you just get a more political commander option as well, because you're able to use these abilities to help your opponents too. So just all around, one of the most flexible commander options ever made. It can be as casual as you want it to be, it can be as competitive as you want it to be, and it doesn't really seem like there's any one best way to play Kenrith. So for me, that's the sign of a very good commander. Now before I get to number 1, let's talk about some honorable mentions. We have the newer commander option here coming out of the Dungeons & Dragons set. We have Tiamat. Not really enough for me to overshadow the Dragon quite yet. It is just a tutor for 5 different dragons, but as we already discussed with Conflux, that can be pretty powerful if you search up 5 different things. We have Sliver Legion, another very good Sliver commander option, but really just a coat of arms that doesn't do anything mechanically that would speed up your deck, that would allow you to search up more slivers. We have Progenitus. For the longest time, this was one of the more sought after commander options for 5 colors, just because you could one-shot opponents pretty easily, had protection from everything, but just doesn't really synergize with much. We have the Reaper King, so if you like scarecrows, you have some way of destroying permanents. We have Okagachi Vengeful Kami, a very good Pillow Fort commander option. We have Maelstrom Nexus, so you can give your spells Cascade. We have Horde of Notions, if you like Elemental Tribal. And one of my personal favorite commander options is Corona False God, just a very good chaotic commander option, and very flexible as you can also take advantage of tribes. And then we have number 1, Golos Tireless Pilgrim. Golos is the GOAT, pretty much. If you're able to tutor up whatever land you want and put it into play, you're going to have the best lands, you're going to have the best mana fixing, which means that Golos is perfect for Blink, Golos is perfect for any kind of landfall strategy, and very similar to Kenrith, this was very difficult by the way between 1 and 2. You have a commander option that can be as competitive as you want it to be, and even casually you have a very strong commander. You just keep dumping that mana into that ability and you will be able to win the game. That's pretty much true for most commander options that have great abilities. The more you're able to activate them, the better off you're going to be. And Golos's will pretty much just get you to your spells, allow you to cheat them into play, making it pretty easy to build around Golos in such a way that you're able to take advantage of that. But anyway, let me know what you think about these 10 5-color commander options. Didn't even have to look into 4-color to see the options. Not that many, so there was no way I was going to do a top 10 for 4-color, but 5-color was totally something I had to go back and do, because we have a ton of them. We have a ton of newer ones for 2021, and the last time I did a video like this was a couple years ago. So you all have a wonderful day. Void here signing off. See you all next time.